important before I demonstrate this is the Python also need or requested us to use what we call the indentation in Python. So, for example, you can't write program without making helpful indentation, and I will show you now using the if statement. So, as you can see, there is if. So I can type here the condition, and if I want to use the else, I type if else. And in some scenarios, I can check more than 2 options. So here, actually, there's 2 options. Or a conditional option that is true, then we process this instruction. Otherwise, we process this instruction. In this way here, we can check a lot of conditional logic scenarios. So based on the condition, we can move on. So let us copy this example, okay, to the Visual Studio Code and make a new share here. Okay, so okay, I can use the terminal and run the program. I can type Python temp. Okay, so now it asks me to enter the first number. So let us say I enter 6. Okay, now I build a float. I convert it from string to float. Now x is 6 and y is 8. And as you can see, I output here y is smaller and how is, so we can check to see if x equal to y, and we need also to use this sample. So please recall here. So if I push this print, sorry, if I just change my code to look like this, for example, all the program break. This is the indentation in Python. So it is very important. What I recommend you, okay, that you follow this common things in Python. Under the first character of the condition, you can start write your next instruction. This is one. And as you can see, this is the if that is inside the first inner in the first if. As you can see, I use the print here below the y, okay, and here below the first character, and so on, okay. So I can type a lot of things with this indentation. And now, if you can see here, there is a dotted lines here, okay? So if you cannot see it in Visual Studio Code, I think you need to install what we called an extension. Let me just open it's called a Prettier Code Formatter, I think. So you can see these lines. So this is the if. Now other example is very useful to try it with the Visual Studio Code. Very important, friends, very important to familiarize yourself with this language, who is coming from C or C++ or Java, and this is the first time he is seeing Python. So you see, you write a little. For me, it was a very problem when I started working with Python, because I used to write a lot of code, and here is a very little code, okay? So for example, here I calculate the maximum number out of 3 number x, y, z. I input here x and input y and input z, and then I print the numbers that I got, okay? And I assume that the first value will be the maximum. Then I check to see if y greater than the max. Then I adjust the max to be the y, and also with the third variables. So that's it with the if, okay? With other example, okay, you can use, for example, code like this. Let us say that you input the grade, okay? This is the grade that you put it. Please recall that you input the grade here. You got it as a string with the input. Eval will convert it to the number. Now you have the grade. At the same time, you got also the time. So you have two variables here. Now I can check if grade greater equal, okay, 90, so you can print A. And please see, it is not else if, as you type in Java, those who are typing in Java or C#. It is elif. So elif, Boolean expression, then below the, as I said before, below the conditional Boolean, you write the statement, okay? You can use and you can use or, and when you are using, let me copy all this code. Okay. So as you can see here, I can use the and the or, okay, and the not. You can see I can check if grade it's not, if not grade greater than 1000 or time greater. Okay, so as you can see here. So let me just push it here. This is will not work. If I will not intend it. Okay. You share. So this is basically the else if came here. Okay. Let me delete this. Okay. Let me type x equal 8. Okay. So let us say that there is a situation you want to check the value of x in such scenario that you want to adjust if it's a positive or negative. Any other scenario doesn't matter for you, okay? So what you type, you can type if, yeah, x greater than or equal 0, then you, okay, print, let's say positive. Now, I can write else, and then write print, okay, minus, okay? Now, if I run this, run the code, what's problem print here? Sorry. So now you got what you want, okay? So this is first option, okay? Where you want to check, sorry. Oops. Here is the plus, okay? So this is the plus and this is the minus, and you are not interested in other option. Now, how you know which option you are interested with? Based on the case study or based on the application that you are developing. So let us say you want to check if a student is succeeded or not. This is the two scenarios. Sometimes you want to see if the value of x fall into some range. So let us say you can see if x greater than 0 and x less than 10. Okay, let's say suppose this. So you print